Hey, I just published a blog on Qortal.dev writing about 3 signs to look out for to know a Web3 project isn't really decentralized after all. Go read it if you haven't already. And I thought I'd shoot a walk and talk now to elaborate further on it because it is quite an important point. And some of these Web3 giants, specifically Ethereum and Solana, they talk quite a big game about decentralization. But when you start digging into it, digging deeper, you start to realize that in reality, they're not really decentralized after all. So I'm going to be talking about that now. The first point to look out for that a project isn't really decentralized is that a user cannot run a full node. And when we say run a full node, what we mean is that they cannot validate transactions on the blockchain. They cannot contribute to adding blocks to the blockchain. On Qortal, anybody can do that. Somebody using a Raspberry Pi, which is has a tiny processing power, can do so as well. But for these big projects like Ethereum and Solana, that is not possible. You need a major rig, you need a lot of money. For example, the Ethereum blockchain is 12 terabytes big, so you can imagine the size of that. Whereas the full blockchain on Qortal right now is only about 7 gigs. So it's really not that big. And that's something to consider when looking at decentralization, because if only big players are able to validate transactions, that means there's going to be a lot of centralized entities and a lot of possible failure points as well. And that means that the control of the chain is vested in a few hands. Whereas in the case of Qortal, where anybody can run a node, it is much more dispersed, much more decentralized, hence the word decentralized. So that's the first thing. The second point that's very important is to look at how many nodes are running on the cloud servers of these corporate giants such as Amazon, Google. So these are centralized entities, of course, which are helping projects like Ethereum and Solana by storing user metadata on their servers. And the reason they do that is because there's so much data and it's badly orchestrated and badly architectured, meaning that they absolutely need these Amazon Web Services to keep their chain going. I'm speaking specifically in the case of Ethereum, where I think over 50% of their nodes are hosted by Amazon Web Services. So it's pretty crazy. This is not decentralized at all. This is Web 2.5, if you want to call it that. So yeah, if your chain is relying on big corporate players, as is in the case of these Web3 giants, then your chain is not decentralized at all. In the case of Qortal, we have no VC backing. We rely on no web services, no centralized cloud entities are involved at all. So definitely a real Web3 project if you look at the fundamentals of it. And the last and third point I spoke about in that blog is if your data layer is decentralized or not. So in the case of Solana and Ethereum, they rely on third parties such as IPFS, Arweave, and Filecoin. Now let me explain what those projects are. Those projects help to, once again, handle user metadata. When we speak of metadata, we mean of big files such as videos, images, large text files, which cannot be handled efficiently if you store that data directly on the blockchain. Instead, you need to use a data layer, which is why they use these services. Unfortunately, Arweave, Filecoin, and IPFS, once you start looking into it as well, they also rely on centralized services such as, once again, Amazon Web Services to host data because, once again, it's not properly architectured. It's not architectured in a way where it can be fully distributed, fully decentralized. In the case of Qortal, we have the beautiful Qortal Data Network, QDN, which handles user metadata. And that's what allows Qortal to be such an interesting project, because we don't have to rely on anybody to handle user metadata. It's all handled internally within what's known as the Qortal core. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think that Qortal is in reality the only Web3 project that is decentralized entirely. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this walk and talk, and I'll see you in the next one.